Hey, good morning. This is Sonia from An Enthusiastic Reader, and today I'm tackling the literary fiction tag. And I will put all of the relevant information in the relevant box below, and you will see who created the tag. I've seen so many great iterations of this tag, and this morning I was watching Brian, and he was reviewing My Sister the Serial Killer, and then he got midway through the video and said he was going to do a video response to all of the literary fiction tags, and I thought, oh no, so I hit stop and thought I'm gonna go tape my version of the tag before I see what his response is, so it's more pure, which seems weird, but that's what I'm doing. And I have written out some answers and seen so many great takes on this that I feel like I might be repeating what I've heard from other people. The first question in the tag is, how do you define literary fiction? I thought about this a lot, and to me, literary fiction is fiction that does something to me. It's either stimulates ideas, or it moves me with the beautiful writing, or it makes me see myself in the story, or it makes me see the world in a better way, or at least a more in-depth way. Is a catalyst. Literary fiction is a catalyst for something. I can't just passively watch or read it. Much like great TV show, you get invested in it and involved in it because of the variety of things that come together to make it its whole. So that's kind of a vague, weird answer, but that's my take on what literary fiction is. Number two is name some literary fiction with a brilliant character study, and for this I chose Main Street by Sinclair Lewis. Now, I haven't read this in a long time, but I still feel it, if that makes sense. I still feel the coldness of it because it's about a physician's wife named Carol, and they move to a small town, and so he's practicing in this small town, and it's about her dissatisfaction with her position as his wife and in the society, and what she wishes she could do and achieve, and it makes her feel very lonely and conflicted. And I just still remember reading that book and how it made me feel about what was going on in my life at the time, and I do want to reread it again because it was a brilliant character study. Number three, name a literary fiction novel that has an experimental or unique writing, and for this I'm picking Department of Speculation by Jenny Offill, not awful, Offill. And this is kind of very short paragraph, condensed scenes of a woman's sadness and life and being a mother and wanting to make art. So she's trying to achieve something or attain something she can't have. And I really enjoyed the process of reading that book. I thought it was very unique in the way that it was written. Number four, name a literary fiction novel with an interesting structure, and for that I chose Cloud Atlas by David Mitchell. This, as you probably know, is kind of a nested series of narratives that starts and then each section works its way in and then works its way back out from various characters' perspectives, and some of it gets very far into the future where even the language has evolved and you're trying to figure out exactly how English that they're speaking, we can understand what it means in a post like nuclear or post apocalyptic world. And then there's one way in the future with androids. And anyway, if you haven't read it, please give it a try sometime if you're so inclined. Name a literary fiction novel that explores social themes, and for this I chose a Miriam Toews novel that I haven't heard ever talked about before on BookTube, and it's called Irma, Voth, and it's about a kind of satellite Mennonite community in Mexico. So these Mennonites had been exiled from wherever they originated, and they ended up in Mexico, and this young woman is, I guess, forced to get married, or somehow, is kind of coerced into getting married. She's not happy at all with the choice that she made for a husband. And then this independent film crew comes to town, and they're filming an avant-garde movie, and she becomes part of the movie crew. I think she becomes one of the actresses. So it's like putting three cultures together. You've got the artists, and then you've got the Mennonites, and then you've got Mexico. So, yeah, very good book that no one has read that I know of. So seek that one out if you like Miriam Toews's writing. Name a literary fiction novel that examines the human condition. I mean, almost every novel, shouldn't that be examining the human condition in some way, or at least it has to have something to do with the human condition, or otherwise, why are you writing it? So I chose My Antonia by Willa Cather, which is a coming-of-age story. A young boy, or a man, is looking back on when he was a boy, and his relationship and understanding of this poor immigrant family, including My Antonia, or Antonia, and the extreme poverty, the extreme harshness of the landscape and of the agricultural community. I think it says a lot about the human condition. Name a brilliant literary hybrid genre novel, and for that I'm choosing Ben Lerner's 1004. It delves deep into the psyche of a man who is, dealing with illness, love, the weirdness of just being alive in this day and age. He has another book coming out very soon, and I can't wait to read that too. I think it's called The Topeka School. So I like Ben Lerner's writing style, and I think that he is really good at exploring different forms of writing. What genre do you wish was mixed with literary fiction more? Well, I don't think we have enough novels about broken marriages, so let's see some more of that. Just kidding. I don't know, but I was trying to think of books that I like that are a little bit a hybrid, and I would say W.G. Sebald. I read Vertigo and Austerlitz, and I just loved the forms of those novels, kind of mixing photography and mixing memory and memoir with literature, with fiction, and just creating this mood that I have really never seen anywhere else. I really like that style, and those books they do something to me when I read them. They make me feel a longing, or not a nostalgia, because I wasn't alive during that time, but they do make me connect with the narrators of those books where they are seeking something, and I think we're all seeking something, aren't we? So that is my take on the literary fiction tag. This was a kind of a brief and shallow foray into this tag, but it's what I could come up with, and so if you haven't done the tag and you're interested, you should do it. And that's all I have for now. I'll see you soon. Bye.